Hello and welcome to TTFL Season 7 Round 1. We are at Mexico tonight. For those of you who didn't tune in to Hobo's stream, the driver lineup and team allocation was done, or the lineup was done by drivers selecting their teammates, but the car selection was done by a Wheel of Doom. So on screen now you can see that the Mercedes this season will be driven by Sesvin and Steeled Sneeze. The Red Bull will be Mrs. Carl and Vader, both promoted from Tier 2 last season. So congratulations and welcome to them. The Ferrari will be driven by Rapid and King Phi Panda. Panda was the Tier 2 Drivers' Champion, so automatic promotion into Tier 1. McLaren will be taken by Cornicus and Frenzy. The Alpine will be driven by Anthony and Hobo. AlphaTauri is Simseku with an open seat. No one in the Williams at the moment this season. No one in the Alfa Romeo at the moment. The Aston Martin sees our Tier 1 Drivers' Champion Scorenzi partnering up with Find the Pass. And Moyland and Speedy on his return from the US have been given the Haas. So now just waiting for the drivers to start making their way out onto the track. Put the calendar up on screen so everyone can see. Obviously Mexico this week, we're in Bahrain for round 2, Canada for a sprint race in round 3, Austria round 4, Portugal round 5, Monza in round 6, a sprint at Miami for round 7, then you go to Spain, Barcelona, the Netherlands, Abu Dhabi as a sprint for round 11, then it's off to Jeddah, Imola, Paul Ricard, another sprint at Austin, followed by Monaco and Singapore, so back-to-back street tracks, keep everyone happy. A sprint at Japan, really looking forward to that one. I think Japan will really suit the sprint race. It's off to Australia, Baku, China for a sprint. That'll be interesting. That's a track I personally can't stand, or can never seem to get a decent performance in, to put it that way. Then Brazil, Hungary, and the season finale will be a sprint at Silverstone. So as we have got cars out on track, furthest round looks to be Hobo coming around to start his first flying lap in the Alpine. All the way down a long straight here, DRS wide open. I said season 7, I'm sure I did, Hobo. If I didn't say season 7, this is season 7. So 29.0 for Hobo through sector 1 as he makes his way round turns 5 and 6 and into the S section of sector 2. That's got that car nicely under control. DRS open again there as we head into the stadium. Completely missed the sector time. So around the final couple of corners now. Want to get on the power early to take as much speed down the line. Opens us up with a 1:19.0. Next to come across the line, Sesvin on an outlap, Vader on an outlap. It's going to be Elder or Find the Pass. So through sector 2, does a 57.5. through the final couple of corners. I thought you might have been, but I also thought I might have got the season number completely wrong, Hobo. It's been a long week. So 117.1 from Elder there. As Panda comes across in the Ferrari doing an 18.3. Elder with a big advantage there on the times in this first quali session. Hobo though was on the hard tyre. Elder's normally got some pace. Oh, trying to read that, my eyesight's going bad. That's on the screen, I can't really read properly. I need to swap my screens around. So Sesvin has done a 17.4. So closest so far to Elder's time. DG Hypers just starting his lap. Jump on board with Vader, a 21.1 from Vader. Let's get the tyre detail up. I thought so. Vader on the hard tyre as well. Looking to try and conserve the softer compounds for later in quali and the race. See how Hypers is getting on. A 58.1 through sector 2 for Hypers on the mediums as we come into the stadium section through turn 13 and 14. Now on the exit, taking a slightly wider line from the apex. There's an 18.0 taking him up into third. A really good time there, especially on the mediums. Mrs. Cole starting her lap. Vader into the pits. Jump on board with Mrs. Cole. See what we can do through sector 1. So that's fine. Colt now just going through turn 6, heading up towards the S section. Try and covertly, I say covertly, try and grab a beer whilst keeping an eye. As Mrs. Cole does invalidate through the S's, unfortunate there. Didn't look like he put all 4 wheels over the line from the half eye I'd kept on it. That's Panda on another outlap. Thornicus on his outlap. Elder feeling confident on that 17.1 and retiring in the pits. Right on board with our reigning champion now. Following round for the first time lap. Here we go, Thornicus DRS open as he makes his way down the start-finish straight. Absolutely flat out, braking just past the 100-metre board. Through turn 1 and 2 nicely. Exit of 3 beautifully. DRS open again now. On the run down towards turn 4. Panda Retiring on track. That's Panda in the wall. It's going to see Panda out at the end of this session, so he won't be progressing through to Q2. May have affected Chronicus's lap slightly. 57.5 through sector 2. As we make our way through the stadium now, through the final corner, taking the shortest line to the timing line and crosses the line. A 17.0 from Chronicus, giving him provisional pole. I can imagine Panda won't be happy with having lost the car. Possibly on an in-lap here. Or a secondary warm-up there. Now Mrs. Cole is into the pits. Moyland out on track now. That was a 20.3, but that lap was invalidated. Teammate just making his way through his outlap as well, keeping clear out of the way. He makes his way through turn 3. It's the DRS open now. Start seeing it ghosting on my screen, but that seems to have disappeared. Sesvin opting to retire in the pits as well. I don't think he's at any risk of not making it through to Q2. Moyland makes his way into the stadium, kept it clean all lap, still got plenty of ERS to finish the lap. Around the final corner, a 118 fall taking him into 6th, but that is on the hard tyre as well. Good time from Moyland there. Back Rapids just starting his lap. Frenzy's on an outlap, Frenzy's on an outlap. Stay on board with Rapid. Yep, they would go through, find the pass, but Panda won't be going through as he made contact with the ball and possibly Stiltonese as well. Let's see if race director does work that time. Yep, so Panda and Stilled both having terminal damage won't be going through, so there'll only be 13 through into Q2. Everyone now starting to retire in the pits if they've set a time. As Rapid invalidates that lap. as you're clearly listening to the stream, find the pass. What's the weather for the race? Tier 2 have got a wet Q1. Panda, you were safely through. You went out to improve again, didn't you? And hopefully you can make your way through the grid. Through the grid. Certainly giving yourself some work to do there. So making his way back to the pits very slowly. Oh, I remember you saying in the Discord that you'd gone no traction and manual. Just trying to think where you can. Did you ride the exit curb as you came out of turn 5? That can make the car unsettle, and then when one wheel grabs, yeah, riding that curb, depending on your setup, if the back end's low to the ground, it can unsettle the car, and then when one wheel grabs the traction, it'll spin you out. It either sends you into the wall or across the track and onto the grass. But good to see you've taken a second off your previous pace around Mexico. Renzi going for a lap now, rapid. Just making his way through turn 3. See how Scorenzi gets through. Taking quite a bit of curb there. Doesn't seem to affect the car. 30.1 for Rapid, 28.7 for Scorenzi through sector 1. Rapid not running any ERS. Evening, Duckface. How are you doing? Drop back to Scorenzi. Rapid crosses the line to take 12. I know Scorenzi got up the board, but I didn't see his final position. Ended up third with a 17-1. So definitely going to be some battles for pole. Should be a good opener. Duckface got some rather rapid drivers. Top end looking fairly well matched. Vader moaning in the Discord. He's had enough already. He wants to go back to tier 2. Tough, you are here and you've got a whole season to get through. So no hanging around as we make our way out for the start of Q2. Hypers out in front, followed by Speedy, Frenzy and Hobo. Hobo opting to run on the hard tire again. Hypers on the medium. Sesfin in the pits has selected the medium tyre, and Moylan's still showing on the hards in the pits. Got to be done, find the pass. Try and save the tyres for Q3. Unless you've got a late safety car, softs aren't really much cop round Mexico. They seem to just wear out after 4 or 5 laps. But late safety car, seeing quite a few safety cars around Mexico. It's one of those tracks that it's a nice track to drive, but it can bite hard. Especially this section, the S's, as Frenzy makes his way through. We've got a Haas round in the S's. That was Speedy. Looks like he got dragged out wide by understeer. So Frenzy opens us up with a 120.3. Immediately followed by Hobo on a 19.2 on his used set of hards. Hypers has invalidated his current lap. He did a 20.2, so it would have taken him into second. Expect to see his next lap an improvement over that. There's Elder on a used set of softs, does a 17.4. Moyland comes through with an 18.5 on the hards, taking him into second. Vader a 19.3. Speedy a 156, but he had that moment through the S's. Sesfin will be the next across the line. He's coming through the final corner now. A 17.6 from Sesfin, taking him into second on the medium tyre as well. So a great time there from Sesfin. Mrs. Cole just making her way through turn 5 now. Closely followed by her teammate. Both come up from Tier 2. That's a bit of pairing to keep an eye on, see how they make their way through the grids on Tier 1, or in Tier 1. This is Carl, notoriously hard to get past. Make that car as wide as the track. Crosses the line, an 18.2 from Mrs. Carl. It's a great first lap in Q2. Takes on an out lap. Speedy into the pits. Moreland into the pits as well. It's going to be Sesvin into the pits, I'd imagine. Yep. On board with Cake. So Ryan saying good luck to everyone in Tier 1. Hope you all have a great season. Hope you have a decent season as well, Ryan. You've got a practice race after this for RPR. So keep everyone on their toes. So Anthony crosses the line, an 18.6 taking him up into 5th place. Guessing that's Speedy just coming out of the pits. Cornicus making his way out. Scorenzi coming around to start his first flying lap. Let's see what the Tier 1 Drivers' Champion can do in this session. .28.6 through Sector 1 for Scorenzi. Nicely through Turn 5. Keeping the tyres just within track limits there, down the curb between 5 and 6. Making his way through the S's at Aston Martin, looking absolutely planted. DRS open again as we head into the stadium. To get a little bit of oversteer on the exit from the penultimate corner, but crosses the line and takes provisional pole in Q2 with the 17.0. Great time there from Scorenzi. Hypers on the mediums does a 17.799, taking him up into 4th. So currently drivers at risk are Thornicus, Speedy, Frenzy's retired in the pits, so will be going out at the end of this session. Vader and Hobo both on very similar times. Both probably need to be thinking about going out for another run. Jump on board with Speedy. Well up on his previous time, but that was a 156, so 17.8 from Speedy. Taking him up into 7th. Thornicus does a 16.7 on the softs. blistering time from Cornicus. Our runner-up in season 6, coming into the opener of season 7, looking to make an impression, an impact, get in front of Scarenzi and then stay there for this season. But Hobo and Vader both in the knockout zone at the moment. We need to find a good 3/4 of a second. So Jake's still in the pits. Moylan's out on the softs now for an outlap. So first run for Moyland on the softs. Mrs. Cole's back out on track as well. Just behind Moyland. He's going to try and get a toe down that start finish straight. It's Hobo just coming into the stadium to start his flying lap. Stay on board with Hobo, follow him around this lap. So he needs to be looking to find 3/4 of a second over this lap, Hobo. Your previous time was on the hard, so it could be a fairly straightforward affair. Nicely through turn 3, DRS open. For the time of the splits, 6, nearly 7 tenths up already in sector 1 alone. Keep pushing, and you're going to find yourself jumping right up the board. It's going to put you 10th currently. Clean through the S's. DRS open again, heading to the end of sector 2, 1.2 seconds up. This is going to be into the mid-17s. Speedy retiring in the pits on a 17.8. Would be at risk as Hobo jumps right up into 4th place with a 17.3. Great time from Hobo there. Next to come across the line will be Moylan. Crosses 16.3 for Moylan, taking him into provisional pole. Mrs. Cole up into 7th with a 17.4. Vader still in the pits. Jake out on track. Speedies has retired in the pits, so won't be able to get out and improve. And it's currently the driver at risk. And Anthony comes around, crosses the line, goes up into 8th. That's a 17.5 for Dixie Anthony, which does knock Speedy out of Q2. Vader still in the pits. So everyone else out on track can now excuse me, sorry. Everyone who is on track can just come into the pits. You will all make it through into Q3. Don't need to risk it and push any harder. Scarenzi does bail on that lap and come into the pits. Hobo's in the pits already. That was a bit of a late pit entry on the bar. Supposed to go to the right of the bollard. Straight into the pits. So it's waiting on Hypers. And that is Hypers in the pit. So at the end of that session we will be saying goodbye to Speedy, Vader and Frenzy. We have got one more qualifying session to go. I just realised I completely forgot to mention the slightly altered start time. So the lobby's now opening at 7:45 with the qualifying starting at 8, whereas before the lobby would open at 8 and quali start at 8:15 ish. There's been tweak to the start time to still include full quali but allow a little bit of a breather gap at the end of the TTFL race before the RPR GP2 race starts, as a number of drivers are in both leagues. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 6 drivers from Tier 1 are in RPR GP2, and there's a few in Tier 2 as well. Don't need tyre detail. I'd expect everyone to be out on softs in Q3. That's Hypers making his way out to be first on track again. Sorry for the silence, we're just sending a message to the boss. By boss I mean wife, obviously. There we are, Hyper's starting his lap now, just making his way through turn 3. DRS open nice and early on the run towards turn 4, a 28.7 from Hypers. Avoiding that sausage curb on the inside of 5 and 6. Heading in towards the S's. Alpha Tauri looking very nice. Into the stadium now. Through the final corner. Looking like a quick time of 17.2 from Hypers. Good time there as he pulls to one side to allow Rapid through, starting his lap. It's going to be Scarenzi next across the line with a 16.4, followed by his teammate Elder on a 16.9. Both into the 16s as Moylan does a 16.8 to go into second place. Jake does a 17.7 and Hobo an 18.0. Sesvin has come in to the line, I think, starting his lap. Thornicus crosses the line, take provisional pole by 0.02 of a second with a 16.421. So great time from Thornicus there. So he's not lost any pace in the little off season we've had. Jump on board with the Ferrari of Rapid. This is just making his way around the final corner. 16.395, so Rapid stills provisional pole from Thornicus there. Top three separated by less than 0.05 of a second. Moylan 0.5 back in fourth. Elder 0.6 back in fourth. Hypers 0.9 back in seventh place. So top seven separated by less than a second. It should make for some great racing this season. So Mrs. Cole does come in through turn 5. Into the S's now. Nicely through the S's. DRS open. 58.2 through sector 2. Oh, stop yawning. No one wants to hear me yawn. Through the final corner now, crosses the line. 18.0 for Mrs. Cole. Puts her into 9th place. Hypers comes round to start his next flying lap. I think that's DXT Anthony on and out. No, it's Hobo on his out lap. So Moyland and Elder also out on track, very close together as well as they head up towards the stadium section. I wonder if there was a bit of cat and mouse there about who's going to lead and effectively give a nice tow to this car behind. As it stands, Elder will be leading down the start-finish straight. Hypers now making his way to the end of sector 2, half a second up on the split through sector 2 there. That's going to put him up into about 5th place. Hypers decides to say, sod 5th place, I'm going to take provisional pole. 16.359 for Hypers. It's a great lap. Moylan's invalidated. Jump on board with Elder as he comes through the S's of Sector 2. So a lovely line there, half a second up. So it's going to be 16.4. Find a little bit through the stadium, and Elder's going to be looking to try and break into that provisional pole position. Crosses the line at 16.431. Takes him into 4th place. Just a 100th off of Shawnicus in 3rd. Moyland is going again. So I wonder if the dirty air from the car in front is what affected him and caused him to invalidate his previous lap. The times are so close. It's just unreal. So Moyland is improving 2 tenths up. That's going to be a 16.6 through sector 1. Using all the track there on the exit of 6. Now into the S's. Ferrari powered Haas. It's invalidated through the S's. Sitting on mid-30s ERS. He's not going to have the ERS to go for another push lap. I think that is Moylan's qualifying over. Jake 4 tenths up through sector 2. Takes 6 tenths out of his time, which jumps him up into 8th place with the 17.1. Hobo is on track though. Scorenzi's just starting his lap. See if Hobo can find a way to break into the 16s. He's not going to on that lap. That's an 18.8. So no improvement for Hobo there. Shawnicus just starting his lap. Rapids on an outlap. Hyper's on another outlap. It's going to be Sesvin next across the line. 16.838. Put Sesvin into... No, he was in... That's the same time. So he's just finished his lap. Scorenzi's invalidated and he's not going to have time to get back round. So Scorenzi going to be starting in at least 5th position. Hobo backing out of that one to allow Shawnicus through and Mrs. Carl. So Shawnicus now coming through the stadium. So Shawnicus improves with a 16.305 to take provisional pole. But Hypers and Rapid both on track. Both pushing. Rapid 600ths up. Missed Hyper's split. Needs to find another 300ths to steal that provisional, steal pole position. He can't do it. He takes 2nd place. ends up down in third. Where did Hypers end up? I saw the time jump. Hypers taking pole with a 16.221. 800ths advantage over Shaunicus in second. Rapid in third. Elder in fourth. Scorenzi in fifth. Sesvin in sixth. Moyland in seventh. Anthony in eighth. Hobo in ninth. And Mrs. Carl in 10th. Your top 8 separated by less than a second. Top everyone pretty much within a second. 1.1 is the gap between first and 10th place. That is so close. Why are the follows not popping up? Thank you to Starry19 for the follow. No idea why it didn't pop up on screen. Or if it did pop up on screen, no idea why I didn't hear the... Oh, I know why I didn't hear the audio. I've got a headset on. So everyone now setting their strategies for the race. See who's on what. So Hyper's opting to go for the medium. Shaunicus and Rapid on the hard. Elder, Scorenzi, Sesvin going for the mediums. Moreland and Anthony on the hards. Hobo, Mrs. Carl and Speedy on the mediums. And Vader, Frenzy, Panda and Still on the hards. So an even split on the tyres. Just making their way in towards the stadium now. We seem to have a Haas out of position. That's Speedy, so we'll need to make his way back to the pack fairly quickly, or we're going to have some drivers sitting on the grid getting cold tyres. Thankfully that spin didn't cause him any damage. Looks like Hobo's had a moment as well, as everyone is starting to line up on the grid. Hobo and Speedy just coming through the stadium now. Jesus, how far down the grid are we? Can we get a better camera angle, please? That one's not too bad. That's horrible. That one. We'll go with that one. So wait for the lights now. Here we go. Season opener is underway. 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's go, go, go for TTFL Tier 1. Season 7 round 1, the long run down the Mexico start finish straight. Come on, camera. Swap, that's better. So Hyper's holding on to the lead. Elder making a move around Shaunicus. Looks to have got that move done into turn 3. Rapid and Moyland going wheel to wheel there. Rapid looked to push Moyland off a little bit. Does get in front just before turn 5. Speedy and Mrs. Cole battling further back. Still Sneeze. Looks to have dropped a few positions. Battling with Panda. That's Panda. I don't know if there was contact between Stilled and Panda there, but that is our first safety car. I don't know if that was contact or if Panda, being offline, got on the power a little bit too soon with that no traction control. Awkward section of track to get through, especially side by side. So Elder is currently up 2 places in second place. Shaunicus has dropped 1 place. Rapid down 1 place. Moyland's gained 2 places up into 5th. Scarenzi down 1 place into 6th. Hobo's up 2 into 7th. Sesfin's dropped 2. Jake's dropped 1. Speedy's up 1. Mrs. Cole's down 1. Frenzy's up 1. Vader's down 1. And Still Sneeze is up 1. So whilst we are under safety car, take this moment just to go and check on my kids for a second. I will be back momentarily. Timed to almost perfection. That's the kids checked on, and the race about to restart. Let's jump up and see when Hypers decides to go. So safety car is in and Hypers has launched round the final corner. Elder starting to close that gap down, not significantly. He's taking a tenth off him down the start-finish straight. To watch what's happening behind as well on the splits. Doesn't look like anyone's managed to make a move in that initial relaunch as Moyland is trying to find his way past Rapid. Hobo's got past Scarenzi. Moyland and Rapid going side by side. Moyland does get the move done through turn 6. So that's Moyland up into 4th place now. Hobo holding on in front of Scarenzi as well. Hyper's opening that gap back to Elder. He's got that up to 7/10 now. As they make their way through the stadium. Everyone making it through lap 2 cleanly. This is Carl picking up the first penalty of the race there. So Hypers will be desperately trying to break that DRS gap. Elder closing in 4/10 there as they make their way through turn 1. So plug that in. Rapid still holding on to the back of Moyland. And starting to drop back a little from Thornicus. Tyre data. Thornicus holding on to the back of Elder. It's within the DRS. Moyland now starting to close that back in. Top 5 all separated by about 7/10 between each car. Hobo in 6th, holding on in front of Scarenzi, who I thought would have tried to find his way past, but he is a sensible driver. He'll just maintain his pace. Try and let the errors happen in front of him and then take full advantage. Could have a DRS train here at the moment from 1st all the way down to 8th. The Speedy makes a move to get past Mrs. Cole. Important move to get done. Mrs. Cole is the queen of defending. Frenzy closing in on Mrs. Cole as well. Probably one of the closest battles at the moment on track. Gaps opening up to half a second. Thornicus just outside the DRS of Elder now. Elder and Hyper starting to eke that gap out. Another fastest lap for the Hypers there. Can Elder do anything to close that gap down with the slipstream? He's got the DRS. Gets the gap down to 4/10. Can he make a move into turn 4? Is he close enough? The gap maintains about 4/10. I wonder if Hypers is running a really low downforce setup. We'll see as they make their way through the S section if Elder can close that up. anything, Hypers is opening the gap there. Moylan up the inside of Shawnicus into the stadium. Does get the move done. Claims third place. Great move there by Moylan. Catching Shawnicus a little bit off guard. Sesvin now picking up fastest lap with a 19.8. Moylan now under pressure from Shawnicus. Shawnicus having the DRS, and will have the DRS again as Rapid picks up a 3-second penalty. Moylan now the front of a DRS train, stretching from 3rd down to 8th place. Hobo absolutely annihilating his ERS. Scorenzi sitting comfortably with 40% as Hobo has a moment through the S's. It's unfortunate for Hobo, that's dropping him down the order as he has to wait for the pack to go through before he rejoins. So that's dropped Hobo down into 12th place. Promoting Scorenzi, Sesvin, Speedy, Mrs. Cole, Anthony and Frenzy all upper place. Moylan grabs the fastest lap there with a 19.4 as he looks to extend that lead over the gap over Shawnicus. Has broken the DRS. He now needs to try and work on closing down 2.5 second deficit to Elder and Hypers. Hypers seemingly looking in complete control at the moment, but on the medium tyres, so they will be pitting earlier. Moylan, Shawnicus and Rapid on the harder tyre will be able to run that bit deeper. Either Elder or Hypers sharing their telemetry data. So I can't see their tyre life, but I can see Scorenzi's. In fact, everyone can see the tyre life now. I forgot to put that on the screen. Let's move that there so it doesn't hide the track map. So Moylan into the pits. We've got a safety car. Why have we got a safety car? Frenzy. As I was busy playing with the stream, I missed Frenzy coming off. So Moylan into the pits, Elder into the pits. Hypers opting to stay out. This could hurt Hypers in the long run. Shawnicus Rapid also pitting. Vader staying out up into 6th now on the hards. Difficult decision to make. We're at lap 10. This is the second safety car, so we had 3 laps under safety car. We've done 7 laps of racing. The hards would only just be coming into their prime range. Difficulty Vader's going to have everyone bar Hypers having pitted. It's hard, they're going to take a little longer to get up to temperature, and they're going to start to drop off quite considerably quicker than those behind him. We we are, lap 10, and this is the second safety car, so anything could happen still. I'm going to try to get the mouse back on the right screen. Having a conversation with the tier 2 commentator, so they had a wet quali but they've got a dry race. Just seen in the Discord, Panda saying the Mercedes killed him. Did catch it on the stream. It was hard to see from the angle of the spectator camera. It did look like there was a bit of wheel banging going on through 5 and 6. Here we go with the restart. Hypers catching Elder out again. Opening up nearly a second down the start finish straight. Elder is starting to gain slightly towards the end. Rapid, Sesvin, Scarenzi having a bit of a poor restart there, coming under pressure from Vader. Vader opting to concede that position. Moyland is past Elder though at the front, so that's Moyland up into second place. Again, will be leading a DRS train if he doesn't get his foot down and break that 1 second barrier, 1 second gap. Elder coming under pressure now from Shaunicus as they come on to the start finish straight. Shaunicus pulling alongside early, ducks back into the slipstream. Out of the slipstream but doesn't go for the move into turn 1. It's got Rapid right on the rear as well, so Shaunicus needs to time this right, not leave himself exposed to a counter-attack from Rapid. Moyland just teetering on the edge of the DRS of Hypers. Mediums on Hypers must be starting to feel worse for wear now. Moyland has broken the 1 second gap to Elder and is in the half a second of Hypers. Make an attack for the lead. Elder still under pressure from Shaunicus and Rapid. DRS is enabled. Tier 2 are on virtual safety car number 1, lap 2 of their race. So Tier 1, you've outperformed Tier 2 because you've got a full safety car on the first lap. Moylan getting ever closer at the front to Hypers. Shawnicus really closing into Elder. Elder's starting to make a bit of ground into Moylan. Moylan able to get the better traction on the exits, pushing those mediums to keep in front as they make their way through the detection zone. Elder would have been too far back. Moylan is well within Hyper's DRS zone though. Still Sneeze picks up a penalty. Hobo's down in 13th. Did Hobo pick up damage? I missed. So Moyland putting pressure on Hypers. Shawnicus with the DRS up the inside of Elder down towards turn 1. Gets the move done. This is going to give him the DRS out of turn 3 as well. It all runs off that same detection zone. Elder running a little wide. That's going to put him under pressure from Rapid, who's got the DRS from Shawnicus as well. Rapid up the inside of Elder, which puts him on the outside for turn 5. Still holding on around the outside of 6. Trying to find his way past Elder there. Elder's got that covered off, using that inside line to his advantage. Has dropped Elder outside the DRS of Shawnicus now, so he's not going to have DRS to defend. As Rapids all over the back looking for a way past. This battle for the front as well. Moyland has closed right up on Hypers, now within 4/10. Can he find his way past as they make their way down towards turn 1? DRS open. Looks towards the outside, pulls alongside, but Hypers has that covered off. As Rapid and Elder going side by side through turn 2 and 3. Rapid has got in front of Elder. Both with DRS by the looks of it. So that counteracts one another as they make their way through turn 5 now. Shawnicus in 3rd place, watching everything going on in front. And probably looking in his mirrors at the battle behind. No, the hards haven't helped Elder at all. But they probably will do towards the end of the race. Hyper's pushing these mediums out to 15 laps now. Moylan not really being able to find a way past as they come down the start-finish straight again. Moylan definitely closer this time around. Hyper's defending the inside. Moylan opting just to go straight round the outside. Gets the move done before the turn in for turn 1. So that's Moylan up into the lead. Shawnicus watching all of this take place as well, will be putting pressure now on Hypers. This goal picking up another penalty. So Shawnicus can find his way past. Moyland extending that gap on Hypers now. He's broken the DRS. The fresher mediums definitely paying dividends for Moyland. Shawnicus and Rapid are right behind Hypers. When's Hypers going to opt to come into the pits? Elder, Scorenzi and Sesvin all on those hard tyres. Speedy leading a group of 4. You've got Anthony, Stiltneys and Mrs. Cole on the back of Speedy. Vader just coming through the final corner. And then Hobo down in 13th currently. He's desperate for another safety car just to group the pack back together. Shornicus has got the move done, so Shornicus up into 2nd place. Hyper's now going to be under pressure from Rapid. Rapid the last of the top 4 on the mediums. Elder now some 2 seconds back on those hard tyres, but the hard should be coming into optimal range soon. Rapid and Hyper's going round there. I don't know if there was a little bit of contact from Rapid on the entry to the corner. Certainly looked very close. That's dropped Hyper's down into 7th place. Elder, Scorenzi and Sesvin making their way through. And Hyper's is now coming into the pits. Get rid of those medium tyres. So Scorenzi and Rapid. No, that was Scorenzi and Elder battling there. My eyes are deceiving me. So Scorenzi getting past Elder. Elder now in the middle of a sandwich between Scorenzi and Sesvin. Speedy down in 7th place, coming under pressure from Anthony behind as they make their way through the S's. It's getting rather warm in here. Not able to find his way past with the DRS as they headed towards the stadium. Can he do anything on the run down towards turn 1? Moyland in front with a 2-second advantage over Shornicus. Shornicus sitting on a 1.8 second advantage as Anthony does get past Speedy with the DRS down towards turn 1. That's Anthony up into 7th place. Speedy not giving up though, holding on to the back of Anthony as they make their way down to turn 4 and 5. Elder not holding, not giving up on Scorenzi either. So we are over halfway through the race now. We are on lap 20 as we have a yellow flag. That's Stiltneys round on the entry of the S's. Looks to have lost his front wing, so that'll be a trip into the pits for Stilt. Unfortunate as he was battling with Speedy and Anthony. Hyper's picking up a 3-second penalty, currently sitting in 12th after that spin earlier on. Keep an eye on the gap as Stilt is into the pits. Scorenzi and Elder, teammates this season. It's not the 10th, it's the 4th. It's only the 4th, and it'll probably be the last one as well. Where was I? Getting completely distracted by the duck face. Unless you're on your 10th with duck face, in which case carry on. So Elder, Scorenzi, teammates this season. I think there are team orders going to be in effect here. Scorenzi is opening quite a healthy gap over Elder. Sesvin holding on, but not really putting any pressure on Elder at the moment. Speedy just within the DRS of Anthony as they make their way down towards turn 1. This Hyper's getting past Vader there as well. So it's Hyper's up into 10th place, so back into the points. Rapid closing in now on Thornicus. Vader going very deep on those hards. 21 laps on the hard so far. Although we've had a couple of safety cars which will reduce the wear on them. And they've got to be starting to feel. But Thornicus comes into the pits. That's lap 23, so he's going to have 13 laps left, going for a set of mediums. That's going to bring him out down in 8th place. So I'm just going to jump on board with Moyland for a minute until the telemetry does an update. So if Moyland were to pit now, bring him out in P6, so just behind DXC Anthony. Rapid doesn't share telemetry, Scorenzi does, so Scorenzi currently in 3rd. We'll wait for the reset. That will bring Scorenzi out into P9. We come out behind Mrs. Carl. Scorenzi on the hard tyre, he can go that bit deeper into this stint. So the penalties as it stands, Moyland and Rapid, as Rapid comes into the pits, we're both on 3 seconds. Scorenzi's on 6. Anthony and Speedy on 3. Mrs. Carl on 6. Hyper's on 3. Vader on 6. Steele on 6. So not too bad. A fairly steady spread. No one's been extending excessively. That one stops, I don't know what stops. That one. So Moyland's up 6 places off the start. Scorenzi's up 3. Elder's up 1. Sesvin's up 2. Jake's up 3. Speedy's up 5. Thornicus is down 5 but has just been into the pits. Rapid's down 5. Again, is also pitted. Mrs. Cole's up 1. Hypers is down 9. That spin costing him a lot of positions. Vader's up 1, Steele's up 3, Hobo's down 4. Moyland sitting with a nice lead, but will need to pit. Can't see him being able to get another 11 laps out of those medium tyres. Got Scorenzi on 35. It's not about a 10% difference between tyre wear. Scorenzi's tyres all wearing very evenly. When we look at Moylan's, the fronts about 5% down on the rears, so I wouldn't be surprised if Moylan is getting a fair bit of understeer on the front end of that. Sorry, not understeer, a bit more oversteer rather, with the rear being more heavily worn. Looking through now. So Speedy's tyres quite evenly. No data on Thornicus, no data on Rapid. This is Cole. Again with about that 5% offset front to rear. Hypers, no data. Steeled, rare, couple of percent difference, relatively even. Vader doesn't care. Hobo, a fairly even spread as well. So I'd love to see what the setups people are running are. Just try and work out how the different setups, whether it's wings, suspension, how they affect the actual tyre wear rate. Although Sesfit, literally commentator's curse, I was about to say, although Sesvin isn't putting Elder under massive pressure, he is maintaining that gap. But I tell you what that does do, that brings out the safety car. Probably perfect timing for Moyland if he's got a spare set of mediums. Probably the worst possible time for Scorenzi and Elder. So Moyland is into the pits. What is Scorenzi going to do? Scorenzi's coming in as well. Yes, he is. Elder into the pits as well. So going for the double stack. So what's Jake going to opt on? Jake into the pits. Shornicus having pitted those 4 laps ago. Going to come through along with Rapid to retake second place. Rapid up into third. Scorenzi out and takes 4th. Elder into 5th. Jake's going to come out in 6th. Speedy will take 7th. Hyper's going on for a set of softs. That's surprising. This is Cole having pitted the lap before on the mediums, goes through to take 8s, and Hypers will be in 9th place. Steeled in for a set of softs as well. It's going to give them the advantage on the restart, but they will drop off very quickly. Vader comes through, pitted the lap before, onto the mediums. Hobo stays out on his 10 lap old mediums. So this is going to help Hobo close back up. Help him close back up to the pit. We hit 9. What's that message? 7. That's not too long for you. So is Hobo going to come in and go for a different set of tyres? Are you going to try and hold out on the mediums? I think you need to pit Hobo. You need to get something fresh on the car. 19 lap old mediums are going to be horrible at the end of this. What tyres have you run? You worked fine earlier, race director. So you've done medium, hard, medium, medium. End of this lap, Hobo. Second safety car for Tier 2, lost 3 drivers. Tier 1's down 3 drivers as well. We're on safety car number 3. Hobo, softs. Come on, in this lap, get the softs on, get back up to the back of the pack, and you'll be laughing. Into the pits. Hobo's listening. Well done, Hobo. Ooh, 14%. Oh, that's a quali set, isn't it? Did you run all 3 sets in quali? So Stilb's on 11, Hyper's on no idea, Speedy's on 5, Elder no idea. Looks like Speedy's got the freshest of the softs. Moylan's barely taken the shine off of his mediums. In those 2 laps. Although it does look like there's a bit more banding on the wear. So safety car in this lap, Hobo, you need to push. Oh, you are actually really close. You should catch this pack with tyres beautifully warmed up, lovely timing as we go for the restart. So can Moyland hold on to the lead to take the first win of the season? Shornicus not being caught out on the restart there. Scarenzi going straight on the attack against Rapid. Opts to pull back in and then go for another look up the inside in towards turn 1. Rapid still in front, covering Scarenzi off nicely there as Hypers gets past Mrs. Cole into turn 1. Elder and Scarenzi side by side as well. Elder getting in front of Scarenzi there. Better traction out of the corners on those soft tyres. Scarenzi going to try and use Elder to pull him through the pack as he tries to make his way towards the front. Everyone still quite close together. Hobo's managed to find his way past Vader on newer soft tyres. As we come to the end of the first lap after the restart, Moyland has managed to open up over a second gap on Shornicus. Let's put the telemetry up so we can all see. They've both hammered their ERS as Elder is now fighting Rapid round turn 2. gets the move done into turn 3, so that's Elder up into 3rd place. Rapid now coming under attack from Scarenzi as they head down towards turn 4. Scarenzi on the outside gives him the inside for 5. Holds that line, takes a shallow entry into 6 and manages to get through on Rapid. So in the space of a couple of corners, Rapid has dropped down from 3rd into 5th place. DXC Anthony on the back of this battle as well. As Vader picks up a penalty. So we got close battling. Rapid still holding on to the back of Scarenzi. DRS is enabled, so that will be available from this lap when we come onto the back straight. Moyland out in front, opening that gap out to 1.5 seconds. Elder though starting to close in on the back of Shawnicus to use all the advantage that soft tyre is going to give him. Done 5 laps on that soft. How much wear did the qualifying runs take out of them? Oh, stop yawning. So Elder is closing in on Shawnicus. He's got that gap down to under half a second as they make their way through the stadium. Been assisted by the DRS down that back little straight from 12 to 13, 11 to 12 even. So now on to the start-finish straight. Elder with the DRS pulls to the inside of Shawnicus, gets the move done well before the braking zone for turn 1. And as Vader retires in the pits. So Elder now up into 2nd place and on the hunt for Moyland out in front. Shawnicus on those 10 lap old mediums. It's going to be feeling the pressure. We've got 3 laps to go, so they should hold on without too many issues. But Scarenzi is going to have the better traction coming out of some of the corners. Is Scarenzi going to be able to find his way past Shawnicus? Some great battles between these two last season as they battled for the championship lead. Moyland opening that gap now back to Elder. That's up to 2-second gap. Elder's light flashing, running on 10% ERS. Moyland with a comfortable advantage on the ERS, not being under any pressure. Is going to give him a bit of breathing space. He can afford to recover some ERS and allow the battle behind to slow Elder, Shawnicus and Scarenzi down. But Rapid also on the back of this group now. So 2nd through to 5th, separated about a second as they make their way through the S's. Scarenzi ever closer to Shawnicus. Can he make a move with the DRS in towards the stadium? Opting not to go for the move there. It's Rapid really late on the brakes, closes right up onto the back of Scarenzi. Coming through the final couple of corners now. Cornicus will get the DRS. It's going to help him defend from Scorenzi as they make their way down towards turn 1. Why has the camera angle gone so far away? So Cornicus holding on for the penultimate lap at the moment. All got the DRS. Cornicus trying to find his way past Elder. Hoping those softs have gone off now. I think Elder's almost got it covered as Cornicus has a moment on the exit of turn 6, which allows Scorenzi alongside as they go through the S's. Great driving there from the pair of them, side by side through the S's. Scorenzi getting the better in the end and getting past Cornicus, but lovely racing there. There's Rapid still on the back of this battle as well. Rapid going to be hoping to find his way past Cornicus. All going to have the DRS from effectively from Elder back. So they'll be able to counteract the defence or the attack from those behind with the DRS. Scorenzi closing up on Elder. Not close enough to make a move at the moment, but this is the final lap. Will team orders come into play? Scorenzi picks up penalties. So Moyland and Elder both on 3 seconds. Scorenzi's carrying 9 seconds. That's going to hurt him. I think Cornicus behind on 3. Rapid on 6. Hypers up into 6th. Great recovery from Hypers. Cornicus and Elder there side by side as they make their way through the stadium section, but we will jump back as the fireworks start for Moyland to cross the line to win the opening round of TTFL Season 7. Took full advantage of every opportunity given to him there, Moyland. Elder takes 2nd. Cornicus picks up 3rd. Hypers picks up 4th. Great recovery from Hypers there as there's bits of Aston Martin wing down the start finish straight. Great to see the AI forget how to drive. Someone's running with completely no ring. I think that's actually Elder. So what a race. What an opening race. Battles the whole way through. The grid never really split massively. There was a couple of laps where everything stabilised and then we'd pick up a safety car, grid would come back together and the racing would resume. Some great racing from Scorenzi and Cornicus there through the S's. Beautiful to watch, side by side, leaving plenty of space for one another. Yeah, we don't need to see your podium. So confirmation there. Moyland takes the first win of the season. Elder in 2nd. Cornicus in 3rd. Hypers in 4th. Anthony in 5th. Rapid in 6th. Scorenzi in 7th. Those penalties really hurting Scorenzi there. Steeled in 8th, Speedy in 9th. Hobo picks up the final points position. Mrs. Carl in 11th. Vader in 12th. And your non-finishers were Sesvin, Frenzy and Panda, who we unfortunately lost at the start of the race. That was definitely a good race. So I hope you will be back next week. We are at Bahrain. And next week's race will be followed by live commentary of the RPR GP2 season opener. They're running a week behind because, well, mainly because of organising everything. We left it. I left it a little bit late to start sorting everything out. But still plenty of time to get a full 24 race season in before the new game is due out. So I'll be back next week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everyone who's joined me on the chat. Thank you to the new followers tonight. It is very much appreciated. I hope everyone did have a good Christmas and a decent New Year, and I will see you next week.